Hi, Kendra. Hello. Oh, I can't hear you. That's why. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Sorry to be a minute late.
That's okay.
Might be just you and I.
So where did you guys move to?
We moved to Rideau Park.
Okay, cool.
So we lived in
Down by the
Altadore.
Elbow River?
Sorry?
That's down by the Elbow River?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's still lots of, you see my painting still on the ground. Still lots to do, but kind of trying to listen to my mantra that the journey is the destination and enjoying it, enjoying getting set up.
Good
Yeah,
for
how
you.
are you today?
I'm okay. We're in gardening mode today, so.
You are? Are you up for a little meditation?
Oh, sure. Why not?
Are you in a place that's like quiet?
Yes, I'm the only one in the house right now. Everybody else is outside.
Okay, perfect. Well, I might just, I know it's a long weekend, so it's probably kind of weird for people to come. So I'm thinking if they're not on by now, they're not coming. What do you think?
Well, for some people, some people are in the U.S. though, right? It's not a long weekend for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Emily said she would be. Cool. Well, I don't want to start it. I'll start the meditation in a couple of minutes. So someone's calling in, so we'll see. Hello? Hello?
Hello, this is Maggie.
Oh, hey, Maggie. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Are you just using your phone to call in?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the boonies, so this is the best I could do reception-wise.
Oh, that's okay. That'll work. How's your day going?
So far, so good. It's cold out for
Yeah.
me. And we're camping, but staying by the fire, so that's keeping me warm.
Aw, are you there for the whole weekend?
Yeah, yep.
Nice. All right, Emily's here. Woohoo! Hi, Emily. Oh, I gotta unmute you. How are you?
Good, how are you? Sorry I'm a little late.
That's okay. We waited for you.
Oh, that's lovely.
Are you ready for a meditation?
So ready.
Okay, Kendra's ready. Maggie's ready. So I'm just going to put everyone on mute. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so just get comfortable. Close your eyes and just start taking some deep breaths. Filling your whole belly. Breathing in through your nose, out through your nose or mouth. So we're going to do a body image relaxation. So just make sure you're in a comfortable position and just start to notice how you are feeling. How are you feeling right now in this moment? There is no right answer or wrong answer. Scanning your body, because your body actually has all the answers. Your mind will make up stories about how you're feeling, but your body will never make up stories. So start at your feet. Simply noticing how your feet feel. How do your ankles feel? Your calves, your quads, your hips. Just continue to scan your body, moving upward towards your stomach, scanning your back, your chest, and the side of your body. Mentally scanning your hands, your arms, and your shoulders, your neck, your head, and your face. How do your eyes feel? How does your forehead feel? Where in your body are you the most tense? Where is your body the most relaxed? Just noticing the state of tension and relaxation in your body. There's no wrong or right, just noticing. Notice how your body relaxes bit by bit without any effort on your part. See how your muscles become a little bit looser, less tense, naturally, just because you are taking a moment to sit quietly and relax. You are giving your body such a gift by taking this time. Notice how, without any effort or input from you, your body is becoming slightly more relaxed with every passing moment. Now, think about your body image. What is body image? Maybe you think about the picture in your mind that you have of what your body looks like. Maybe it's the ideas you have about your body, your feelings about your physical self. Perhaps body image is a vision of how you think your body should be. Think right now about what body image means to you. Take a moment to consider your thoughts and ideas about your own body. How are you feeling right now, thinking about body image? Are you feeling neutral, content, comfortable, uncomfortable, satisfied, dissatisfied? Are you feeling happy or unhappy? Perhaps angry, afraid, or accepting? Maybe you're feeling a combination of these things. Contradictory feelings are common. You don't need to judge your feelings because every feeling is valid, no matter how uncomfortable. Now think about what it would be like to accept your body fully as it is. What if you felt okay about your physical self? Take a few moments to imagine what that would be like. What would it be like to accept yourself fully? Perhaps think of a time in your life when you felt accepting of your physical self, your whole self, or maybe even just part of yourself. Think about which parts of your body are easiest for you to accept. Now try to imagine accepting your whole body rather than just certain parts. You have been doing some challenging thinking for the last few moments. So now let's take a step back and relax. Notice if you've been holding your breath, and just take a big breath in and exhale, relax. In and out. Notice how good it can feel to take big cleansing breaths. It's one of the easiest things you can do to help you relax. If you are feeling tense in any area, try to pay attention to that area and imagine that each breath is helping that area relax. Breathing into that tight area, that tense area, and then breathing out. With each breath, relaxing you further. Now, I will say some body image affirmations. You can repeat them after me if you wish, or you can simply relax as I talk. Each affirmation is true, even if it does not seem so right now. I am okay the way I am. Deep breath in, deep breath out. I can accept myself the way I am. Taking that deep breath in, deep breath out, relaxing the shoulders. My body is acceptable just the way it is. I accept this body I am in. There is no need to be perfect. My imperfections make me unique. I am perfectly all right, just the way I am. My body is a functioning whole. I am human, and all humans have flaws. I can accept my imperfections. I free myself from judging my body. I am okay just the way I am. And the last affirmation, taking those big deep breaths, I accept myself. Now that you have repeated some affirmations, or at least listened to the affirmations, take note of how you are feeling. What was it like to repeat or listen to the affirmations? It is totally okay to feel however you are feeling now. So just accept the variety of feelings that you may be having. As we finish up the meditation, just take a moment to fully relax. Let all the worries and tension go as you breathe slowly in and out. Continue to breathe slowly, deeply, naturally. As you start to return to your waking level of consciousness, remember to slowly leave this relaxed state. You can still keep a feeling of calm while becoming more awake and alert. Wake up your body and mind. Move your arms and legs and the feet. Feel your muscles reawakening. I'll just count up from 5 to 1. And when you get to 1, you will be fully awake and ready to return to your activities. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. How was that?
Good.
Thumbs up, thumbs down. Kendra?
I'm still not loving it.
You're so honest. Well, thank you for doing it.
I think I need the speed version of meditating. I'm good for about the first 4 or 5 minutes. After that, my mind goes other places. And then I feel guilty about not focusing on what I'm supposed to focus on. So then I start breathing really fast.
Yeah, so it's almost working the opposite for you. Is everyone, I think Maggie's talking, but I can't hear you.
Oh, yeah, I liked it. I do like the meditation. Some days are better than others. One thing, Kendra, that I've gotten used to doing is just accepting when your mind wanders, because it's kind of part of the meditation sometimes, just recognizing that you do that, because we all do it. Like, my mind will start wandering, and I'll be like, wait a second, bring it back. And just noticing it, but not judging it, I think is a big part of it. So.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of like life. Nothing's going to be perfect, but I find meditating helps me when crazy stuff happens in life to just not get so affected by it. So there are benefits, but it is hard, especially at first, because our minds are so used to going, right?
For sure.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you for logging on, and thank you for filling out the self-care worksheet. So I was hoping that maybe each one of you could just kind of maybe speak to anything that was a surprise for you, or maybe that you've decided you want to put some more emphasis on since you filled out that questionnaire. Kendra?
Oh, don't make me go first.
Okay, Emily?
Sure. So, I think, can you guys see me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi. So for me, what I noticed from doing the questionnaire is that all of the things that were kind of external to myself that I would do, I felt happy to rate myself higher. But then the things that were more internal, I rated lower. So I think I'm still quite hard on myself.
Okay.
And I want to work on loving and accepting myself more at the place that I am, and not just focus on the goal that I want to get to.
Yeah. Did you like the meditation today for that?
Yeah, I really enjoy the body image meditation, and then the one that you had posted the first week, the body appreciation one.
Yeah.
And like seeing yourself on the beach. I really like that one a lot. And yeah, so I'm definitely I'm getting there, but I thought the questionnaire was was a good tool to kind of point that out even more so, that I tend to be quite hard on myself.
So physical and workplace, you kind of like felt pretty good about?
Yeah, I would say so.
And then the spiritual, emotional, psychological was not as great? Or you just feel like it should be better?
It was just certain ones, like the ones regarding, I say positive things to myself, right? I don't really say, I don't have a history of saying very positive things to myself. So that's one thing that from the questionnaire I realized I need to work on more is saying more positive things to myself, because the things that I say to myself I wouldn't ever think of saying to somebody else. So why would I say them to myself? It's ridiculous. So yeah, I think that was the biggest one, is just kind of seeing it laid out in all of the sections, where the ones were about how do you treat yourself or speak to yourself, or the positive affirmations. I wasn't necessarily there, but taking care of my body, I want to take care of my body by eating well and exercising and walking and doing all of that, right? And but when it comes to kind of how I talk to myself about those things, I need to be more gentle and more positive with myself. And I think part of that is that whenever I've tried to lose weight before, I've been so focused on the goal instead of focused on enjoying the journey. And I think this time I really want to enjoy the journey of getting there, because I think that if I don't enjoy the journey of getting there and I say terrible things to myself on the journey, when I get to my goal, it's not going to be any different. I'm going to make another goal that might be unrealistic and beat myself up about not being able to reach it. So this time I really want the change to be sustainable.
Yeah.
So I think that getting into the habit of being joyful and loving myself and saying positive things to myself on the journey, not only at my goal, will help me.
Yeah. That's a big realization. That's awesome.
Yeah. Do I have time, or later, to tell a story about what happened to me kind of these last couple of weeks? Is it appropriate now or later, or what would you like?
Yeah, why don't you go now?
Okay. So I made a big decision last week about how to move forward in something that I've been thinking about in my life for a long time, and I moved forward in that, and it didn't really go as I had planned, and so I really needed to take care of myself well. So I had to take a day and a half off work, and it was last Wednesday that I took the day off, and I thought to myself in the morning, so either I can shove my face full of food and get drunk today, or I can go for a walk with the dogs, I can go to the gym, I can see if I can get in for a massage, I can eat healthy foods, which I know will help me feel better. So that's what I did. Wow. I decided to take care of myself by walking, by connecting with a friend, by going to the spa, by so I was really proud of that decision. But then after that, I kind of made some food choices that I wasn't really proud of. I was overeating and eating past the point of full. I would feel my stomach being full and I would still eat. Mm-hmm. And I would consciously do that. I knew that I was doing that while I was doing it. And so I started to be really hard on myself about it. And I wasn't appreciating my body, and I was feeling upset, and I was saying those mean things to myself. Anyways, I went to the gym on Thursday, and Amy was coaching that night, and we had this big talk about how we compare ourselves and how we need to have positive things that we say to ourselves. And she was talking about writing affirmations on the mirror, and we just had a really good talk, and also about not comparing ourselves to others. And anyways, we were doing an AMRAP where we had to do push-ups, and it was the first time I was able to do more than 2 push-ups in a row for my toes. I was able to do the whole AMRAP, which included 6 push-ups as one of the exercise. And I think we went through it for 3 minutes, and I was able to do all of the push-ups from my toes. And I just had this realization of, wow, I haven't been treating my body very well or saying very nice things to myself, but my body is still working really, really hard for me. And it's responded amazingly in these past 6 months. I've made huge progress, and my body has been so, so good to me. And I just started to cry, and I'm doing push-ups in the gym, and I'm crying, but I was like, no, I'm going to keep going. It's okay. And tears are rolling down my face. And I was just having all the feels. And I was like, oh my gosh, my body is so good to me, even though I'm not good to it sometimes. My body works really, really hard for me. Mm-hmm. And then I went to work, and I was telling one of my friends about that experience. And I don't know how bad into this I am, but I thought it was really neat that she said it. She said, your chakras are aligning. She said, like, oftentimes our bodies get to a point before our minds and our spirits do. And she said, you're getting to that point where you're loving yourself and your chakras are aligning. So I just thought that was really neat, and it made me really want to treat my body better because of how well my body has responded to the changes I made and how hard it continuously works for me. So I just wanted to share that because it was really cool.
That's very cool. Thank you.
Thanks for giving me the time to talk about that.
Yeah, no, that's, I think it's just the whole kind of mind-body connection. You can't just separate everything, right? And so many people just work on the body, but they forget about the spiritual and the emotional, and it's all connected, right? And
yeah.
And I mean, whether you believe in the chakras or not, it's like we all have energy, right? So when you're in the flow and things feel good, and if, your body is happy, and that's basically the chakras aligning, I think. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
So it sounds like you are getting better at, noticing when things are going well and being more gentle, because it's not going to be every day that it feels like that, right?
Yeah, definitely being more gentle with myself. And I think those big realizations have always been really important to me throughout, no matter what I'm doing. When I have kind of those aha or those light bulb moments, they usually will shift the course of my thinking. It's kind of like I don't really fully change my thinking unless I'm whacked over the head by a 2x4, and that's kind of like what those aha moments are for me, is like that whacking. So like it's not always going to feel like that, and I think there's going to be ups and downs, but I think just realizing like how good my body has been to me, and that I think also the realization of I need to work on, in my subconscious and in my heart, believing that I deserve my best body and that I am worth my best body. Yeah. And I think that's part of my mind and my spirit and my body aligning, is actually starting to believe that.
And do you feel like that's happening? The deserve?
I feel like that's happening. I think it will take a little time, because I spent so much of my life feeling like I don't deserve good things. That it will take some time, but I bet that's definitely something that I think I do deserve, is to live in my best body, and that I am worth it. And so I need to work on believing that with my whole being, not just knowing it intellectually.
Yeah. And are there any like old stories that kind of make you feel like you don't deserve, that maybe you need to look at? Like, did someone tell you that, or was it like not, was health not valued growing up, so you never saw a great example, that kind of stuff?
I think I watched my aunt and my mom yo-yo all the time and say really awful things about themselves, like out loud in front of my sister and I think I took on those stories. And so it wasn't necessarily directed at me. It was directed at themselves. So that's how I learned how to talk to myself about my body. Right. And now I have to rewrite that story for myself.
Because you only can learn what you see, right, when you're young?
Yeah. So So I think that's probably where that stems from. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you're getting it. It's all coming together.
Yeah, it was really amazing actually. That the last 2 weeks have been really, really difficult for me, but also really amazing because out of that difficulty came amazing growth.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I don't know what you went through, but like, it's always going to be, you're always going to revert to those old patterns. But the fact that you were able to not just get drunk and eat your face off, and you made a really good choice one day, and then you might have overeaten, but the extent of the episode wasn't anything like it probably would have been a year ago, right?
Yeah, and I think one of the things that keeps sticking in my mind is from the Diet Dropout, there's the quote that says, when there's awareness, there's no room for compulsion, or something like that.
Yeah.
I feel like I have awareness, but I'm still doing it. So in those moments where I can physically feel my stomach is full, and I will still eat, I know I don't need it to sustain my body. It doesn't even taste that good anymore, but I'm still eating. So I'm like, what is this? So then I think about that quote, where there's awareness, there's no room for compulsion. I think that's the gist of that quote. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Like, so I feel like I have the awareness, but the compulsion might still be there. So I don't know if it is compulsion or if it's more like, no, that's actually a conscious choice you're making. So,
Well, like sometimes like self-sabotage, it's like consciously, you know, it's not the right thing for you, but you just don't care. And because part of those old beliefs, not deserving, that kind of thing. And then I think you can switch in and out of awareness. It's like, okay, I know I shouldn't eat this second serving because I'm not really hungry, but I want it, so screw it. And then you kind of go back into like numbing out, and you're almost not aware for that 5 minutes. And then so I think it's not like black or white with that stuff.
okay.
Yeah.
So you think it's more of kind of like a journey, and then it's still about choice.
Yeah. Like, even last night, I got home from dinner and there was like a piece of cheesecake or a piece of carrot cake in the fridge. And I was like, I don't really need it, but I want it. And I had it, you know, and it was like, I don't know, I didn't go totally numb out or anything, but it was like part of me knew it wasn't like for my best body, but I don't know, I think there's no like right or wrong answer, but you just kind of, I do realize like if I have a hard day and I'm stressed, then a lot of my old habits come back in, you know?
And I think because I went through like that difficult time the past 2 weeks, I didn't have as strong as willpower to say no to the old coping mechanism of eating to feel better. And so I think that was part of it, the reverting back. And because I had a really hard week, you know, I've grown up eating for comfort. So I think that was probably part of it as well.
Yeah. And that's why I'm so big on like strive for progress, not perfection, because a lot of people, I overate, so I'm going to just scrap all my results, you know, and like, you know better now. You've glimpsed the freedom, you've glimpsed the control that you have, and there's still going to be times when you take a step back, but overall the times between those crazy times are getting farther, you know? So
yeah, definitely. And I think what I need to do now is shift my focus from feeling terrible about it to the progress and to forgiving myself with that. And I think all of those things are wrapped in like feeling that I deserve and that I'm worth it, knowing that I have the power, that I'm empowered to make choices for my best body, you know. And so I think all of that is wrapped in, and I know that I can do it because that Wednesday I consciously made that decision to take care of my body in ways that I knew would actually nourish me.
Yeah.
So I know that I can do it, and but it's still, I think it's always going to be a work in progress. It always just is. I think I'll make progress. I think I'll make more and more progress, but I think it's always going to be work, like a work in progress.
Yeah, that's why I love what you're saying. I say Kendra and I were talking about that. Like, the journey is the destination. I mean, I'm moving right now, and I'm like, I'm stressed about it, but I'm like, why don't I just enjoy this? Like maybe it will take longer. Maybe it'll take longer than a diet to lose the weight, or maybe, you know, but a diet's never going to be enjoyable. You know what I mean? So, and to force myself to like bust my butt all weekend and not have any joy, what's the point of that? Life, this is our lives. Like it's not like we're just going to arrive somewhere and it's all going to be perfect. So why not at least try to enjoy the journey? I don't know if that makes sense, but.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And I think that, you know, yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Well, I'm really proud of you. I'm going to send you, there's a book called The Big Leap. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
It's really, I'll put it in the group, but it's all about the reasons why we sabotage ourselves. And a big one is that we don't feel like we deserve to feel as good as we're starting to feel. So it might be an interesting read for you if you're a reader. There's an audiobook version of it too.
That sounds like exactly where I am right now, so that might be helpful at this point.
Yeah.
And I've actually found one thing that I've started to do too is I have the 2 15-minute meditations, the Blissful Me by Oprah and Deepak, and then the Body Appreciation 15-minute one that you have.
Yeah.
And I pretty much do both of those every day, like right before I go to bed.
Oh wow, great.
And it just helps to remind me to be appreciative of my body, and then also that I deserve to have joy in my life. So those are the things that I'm working on. So those 2 meditations really speak to me right now.
Oh, that's great. I mean, anything that supports you on the journey, right? It's not an easy road, but it's worth it.
For sure.
Cool. Okay. Well, Kendra, will you let us know how your self-care is going?
Well, I think my realizations for this week, when I did the survey, there were a lot of things that it was like, there was nothing that was all the time, and there was kind of not too much that was like, I've never thought about this. So a lot of them were sort of rarely or sometimes. And I think what it's got me thinking about is I don't really have a go-to plan or strategy for myself when it comes to self-care. I tend to be pretty list-driven a lot, and it's sort of like, you know, I'll have fun or sit down or relax when all the work is done.
Right.
So I think it's got me thinking a little bit about, rather than, you know, trying to tackle the whole list, like, can I find a few things that I really enjoy that I can find the time and space to do. And so I'm not trying to figure it out in the moment, because I think that's my other challenge sometimes. It's like, oh, maybe I should do something, but I don't know what I want to do, because, you know, I didn't book a massage, and I don't. So, and then it just feels like more work to sort of try to figure out what it is versus, or what I'm going to do, versus just carrying on with whatever the next thing on the to-do list is. So I've been thinking some about that. The other thing that's been on my mind and a little bit is, because I've been in a place the last few weeks of kind of struggling to kind of get back into more of a fitness routine and to focus more on my eating and nutrition again. My inner voice tends not to say bad things to me. It tends to actually be really nice to me, but I'm struggling with what is the being kind to myself, and what is like excuses and letting myself off the hook. Because, you know, when I do things, it's, you know, oh, it's been a tough day, sweetheart. Like, you deserve that. You know, oh, it's just this once. Don't worry. You know, so I don't know. I'm trying to, I think, find a little bit of how do I call myself out when I need to be. Because, I mean, honestly, I've been on the couch for most of the last 3 years because I was really nice to myself. I had all, you know, it was the best I could do at the time. So I tend to talk. So I don't know if I'm making any sense at all, but I'm struggling a little bit with what is being kind to myself versus letting myself off the hook.
I think that's a great comment, because, I mean, let's talk about workouts, for example. Sometimes, like, it's like if my body is just like so tired and I'm like not wanting to go to the gym, it's exactly what you're saying. I'm like, I'm probably going to feel better after I work out, So usually I'll just tell myself, Charmaine, it's going to feel better. But then some days I'm like, no, my precious body just wants to rest today. I'm not going to the gym. I'm not going to feel guilty about it. But then there are some people that are really lazy, not saying you're not at all, but they just always talk themselves out of a workout. So do you guys mind if I just restart the call?
Sure.
And I'm sorry, this is really disorganized on my part, but I was supposed to upgrade my account and I forgot to do it. So I'll do it before the next call, but I'll just quickly post the link in the Facebook group again. Is that okay?
Sure.
Yep,
Okay.
that's fine.
Okay, I'll see you guys in like a minute.
Okay.
Okay.
Yay. Hi, Emily. Woohoo! Hello. Sorry about that.
Oh, shit.
Emily, are you in the dark now?
No, my screen is different. Sorry, I'm not like super familiar with this.
Okay.
There, is that better?
Oh, yeah.
I just got confused with my screen.
So, Kendra, I love that question. And I guess my gut is saying that maybe if you can just think about your vision for your life and your body, and just every time you're trying to make a decision, just think, does this align with my vision? And then, because for me, my vision is not to like punish myself at the gym endlessly and feel so exhausted and sore that I can't, function in the day. So like some days I'm like, yeah, my vision is to feel abundant and energetic and inspiring, and I need to rest today. And that I don't over question it. So it's a tough one. Like,
Well, and I think for me, there's a fear attached with it as well, because it feels like a slippery slope. Like when,
yeah.
Okay, well, if I cut myself a little too much slack, then, am I just going to continue to not make, I think my story is I'm not fully trusting of myself yet. Like I've been down this road before of working out and losing weight, and then I just kind of let it go, and I don't really know, why. And when I gain it back, I'm not one of these people who's going like, oh, well, this just doesn't work for me, or like, I get that. I get where every one of the pounds came back from, but yeah, I guess I don't trust my follow through. So it's not like, so on one hand, I'm trying not to wait for the other foot to fall. But so I think my happy medium over the last couple of weeks has been, because I'd sort of fallen off everything for a while, and for about 3 weeks, and was sick of just going, okay, I'm going to get to my 3 or 4 workouts, and I'm going to do the best I can with food. But if it's not, if there's more eating out or we're busy, I'm not going to worry about that part too much. And so trying to build the steps, back, I guess. And the other piece, and I'm sorry, I feel like I'm not making sense in my head. It makes sense. I've thought a lot in the last week about, what happened, whatever it was, the 7th of April, when things kind of went sideways on me for 3 weeks. And one of the other pieces I realized for me is, I had, for about the 6 weeks before that, not only had the support at the gym, but I had a couple of friends that I was meeting with weekly, and we were, in one case we were doing a book study, and others we were just, kind of having a chat. And then life got busy for everybody, and I let that go as well. But I'm thinking that maybe that support as well, and just kind of being conscious of what are the things that keep me in a good headspace. Because when I'm in a good headspace and when I'm well rested, it is not hard to go to the gym. I like going to the gym. It's not hard to go, yeah, I'm going to take 10 minutes and pack a lunch instead of eat out. So trying to think more about what are the things that keep me in that space, versus just the circumstances running me over.
Yeah. And I know you've said before that is not maybe the stress, but it's more the sleep issue that's kind of all driving everything too. Because when you're lacking sleep, everything compounds and feels harder. And so, but I think that's really cool that you're able to kind of pinpoint that, you know, the support network kind of went away. Is that because the groups ended, or?
Again, just circumstances, you know, the friend at work that I'm doing the book study with, we were both out of the office and traveling at different times. The other friend has just bought a business, so she's been really, you know, sort of tied up with that. So, yeah, like I say, just trying to be more conscious of what are those things, and if one can't be there, what can I replace that with to keep me in a better space.
Yeah. And I mean, like, hi Maggie.
Hi.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. There with my internet.
So just talking about Kendra's question, but I think obviously, Kendra, you're very aware that it's so much more than just exercise and nutrition. It's all these lifestyle components coming together, right? And I don't know why it says. I just had a brain fart as Maggie came on, but sorry. I had something important to say, but Emily has something to say, right, Emily?
I have something to say?
I
think what happened was your hamster fell off the wheel.
Yeah, you think Kendra's hamster fell off?
Your hamster fell off the wheel when you had your brain fart.
My hamster fell off. But Kendra, I think like, you know what's best for you. Like, and when you're really tired and stressed, sometimes what's best for you is not what you choose because willpower is gone. But I guess coming back to, you know, maybe almost feeling like you're being too easy on yourself. I think as long as you know what you want for your body and for how you want to feel, the food decisions and the exercise decisions will, I don't know, I just think if you can, obviously, I remember you wrote your vision for your body after the Diet Dropout course, right?
Yep.
Do you ever read that?
When I'm in a good space, I do it every day. When the wheels are falling off, it's another thing that I kind of tend to chuck out the window.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, that's so common. And I mean, I have times like that too, but I think the more, it's like what Emily's getting closer and closer to, like, not having these episodes, you know, and the more you can just get your lifestyle in alignment with what you really want, it's going to be a work in progress. There's going to be times when shit hits the fan, excuse my language, and it's just like, yeah, I'm not going to go read my vision right now when, like, my house is caving in, but I don't know. I think just the more you prioritize that, like, program it into your phone, put it on your bathroom mirror. I just really, I mean, I know this is going to sound very woo-woo, but I 100% believe this. What you kind of program into your subconscious, it just makes your every decision is easier. So it's like, I know my vision. It's sitting right on my board in my office. So to skip a workout does not align with my vision. And it's not going to feel good. It's going to feel crappy and out of alignment if I do it. And, you know, if I really need to rest, I'll rest. But generally, I can work out 5 or 6 days a week, and that's a healthy thing for my body. And same with eating. Like, yesterday I wanted some carrot cake, but I bought the kind of carrot cake that doesn't make me feel bloated and unwell. So it's like, it's a treat. It's still, like, probably more calories than I need, but I enjoyed it. And so I think you're more wise than you think. And I think you're on a really good track. Just have to kind of, it's just getting more trusting your intuition, trusting your body, not overthinking it. Once you've made a decision, don't try to overthink it. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. And then, I mean, I'm sort of with Emily on the trying to make it a journey. And this time I want it to be a journey for the rest of my life, not just this temporary trip that I go on for 12 or 14 months. So I didn't unlearn all this stuff in a day. I'm not gonna, you know, sort of learn it all in a day, and just, I guess, trying to remember the little successes too, and that part has actually kind of helped, because like I said, the last few weeks have been really up and down for me, but every time I kind of feel a little unsure, something inevitably, happens externally that helps with that. Yesterday, one of my coworkers told me how much younger I'm looking, and I'm like, okay, wow, like here I am thinking I've had 2 or 3 really not so great weeks, and somebody's going, you look fantastic, and I'm like, really? Because I'm not feeling fantastic right now, but it helps put it in perspective as well, and I tend to live in my head a lot, so I'm sometimes over-focused on I didn't make a good choice, I didn't work out as many times this week as I had planned to. But so sometimes other people noticing things kind of shakes me out of that a little bit.
Yeah, and I think...
And this is Natalie, who's just...
Oh, hi, Natalie. You're so beautiful, just like your mom. Yeah, I think, Kendra, that kind of striving for progress, not perfection, is a big one for you. And when you're kind of going into like a dark place and feeling like things aren't going well, what works for me is gratitude. And like, of course, a coworker saying a positive comment is awesome, but that's not always going to happen. But if I'm feeling really down about life and about myself, I'm like, what's not wrong? Like, what's working? And then I start to focus on that, and then it just kind of snowballs. So the big kind of thing I've realized this year is like, life is just going to keep happening. And it's like, there's going to be crazy times, and you're going to, have stress that you have to overcome. But it's just the more habits you have in place that help you along the way, the more successful you're going to be. So with self-care, for me, I value it just as much as a workout. And I know you're very busy with your career and your daughter and your family, but it's like my massages are booked in the schedule, coffee dates are booked. I actually used to have different color of highlighters. I'm an old school, I use a paper agenda, but self-care was highlighted in pink. And if there wasn't at least 3 things in the week, then my week was going to not be that fun. So I always made sure there was 3 self-care things, because it's not a fluke, it's like, if you don't exercise, you're probably going to feel crappy. It's like, if you don't prioritize self-care, you're going to probably feel more stressed and overwhelmed and eat more and all those things. So it doesn't happen by accident. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, the thing you posted this morning, I think you kind of almost did it like an equation, less self-care means more cravings. And I left that window open on my computer because I hadn't really thought about it in that way before. Because and the part I liked in the meditation was think about where you are in your body, because your body won't lie to you, your brain will. And like say, being somebody who lives in my head a lot, I know that's a risk for me. Yeah.
So, I mean, we all live in our head, but it's sometimes the kind of scary. There's a quote that says it's the scariest place to be, because our minds are just they're just running rampant, and we can create something out of nothing, right? So the more you can kind of breathe and just be in your body, and it's what's happening in this moment, you make all these stories up in your mind, but then when you come back to your body, it's oh, I'm at my house, my daughter's here, she's healthy, I'm healthy, my husband's here, what's not wrong, when you're in the moment, actually a lot of things aren't wrong, but when you're in your head, it's everything's wrong. So that's why it kind of helps to come back into your body and realize there's so much that's working, The audio is kind of clipping in and out. But is that helpful?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, so prioritize self-care. You just do it. So Maggie, do you want to fill us in how you're doing with your self-care? Any questions you have?
I don't know if I have any questions. I think the self-care is going well. I think the one thing I was going to say is how to fit it. I never thought about putting it in my schedule as something that should be in your schedule. So when you said that, yeah, that's something I should do, is because if I think about it, like at the end of the evening, if I'm stressed and I'm like wanting to eat something, then I'll say, okay, what can I do that's not gonna sabotage, who I want to be. So then I'll be like, okay, well, I can go take a bath, or I can do a face mask and read a book for a minute or something like that. But to actually pencil it into your schedule, I think is something that I need to work on.
Yeah, and I find maybe the bath, if you can even have the bath earlier, or if you can actually do something earlier in the day, self-care wise, then when you have a really crazy, stressful day, you will have had something that lifted your spirit, so you won't be as likely to eat or, revert to old habits that aren't helpful. So, I mean, I know you're busy and you have a business and all these things, but one thing to realize is self-care will actually make you more productive and creative in your business. So it's not like a waste of time or a frou-frou-y thing. It's actually going to make you achieve your goals faster. I used to think it was a waste of time, and I would feel guilty for, getting a pedicure or, going for a walk or whatever. But now I realize how much more happy I am, how much more productive I am, how much less I eat emotionally, all that stuff. So it does have a lot of benefits.
Okay. I was going to ask you too, do you have any recommendations for self-care that you really love that we might not think of as self-care, just as curiosity? Because I can think of doing a bath or getting a pedicure, getting my hair done, but as far as trying new things, is there anything you would recommend that we might not think of?
Kendra's gonna laugh at this. I sometimes I'm like a second meditation.
Okay.
I'm like, yes, I've got 20 minutes. I'm gonna go do another meditation, because I always meditate first thing in the morning, right when I wake up. But sometimes in the afternoon, I'll have a second meditation, and it's glorious. So that's one that I like to do that's free, that you can quickly do. Obviously, a nap.
Okay.
I love to just sit in bed and read a book. That's so decadent in my mind. But I mean, I can't tell you what self-care is because I don't know what you like. But
right.
Just to curl up under the covers and read a book, it's just that's something I never used to let myself do. So that for me is really awesome.
Yeah, that would be a good one. That's one I would enjoy.
Because you probably have a million books you want to read, but you never let yourself have time for, right?
Yes. Yes. Unless it's on audio, chances are I don't have the time to actually sit and physically read it.
There's
so to make the time.
There's something to be said for reading, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I guess for you it's making time for it, and maybe just kind of as you're camping this weekend, sit down and think about what brings you to life, what you really love. Maybe it's active. Lots of people, it is a workout,
Yeah.
For me, it's not. A workout is a workout, and self-care is chill, but everyone's different, right?
Yeah. I did find I have a 5-minute yoga routine thing that I do, and that I would classify as the physical self-care type. A workout for me, at the end of a workout, yes, I can say that was self-care. I feel awesome. But to actually think about doing a workout does not feel like self-care. It's
same.
Yeah.
Some people, it's taking time to bake a healthy thing, or obviously do you have a 4-year-old?
He's 6-year-old.
6-year-old. So taking him to the park and not being in a rush, that's, to me, that's self-care. That's such a cool feeling to just be able to spend however long he wants to spend.
Yeah.
And not be okay, we got to get home, just have 2 hours or whatever, and he kind of decides.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's good to just sit and kind of, I think it's a fun activity, but write down what you like to do, and maybe it's learning a new thing, or could be anything.
I will say the nature thing this weekend, I was dreading coming camping, and my in-laws actually talked me into coming, and I'm it's a 4-hour drive. I got to go, and I still have to work next week, and I got all this I should do. But to be here and to actually be in nature away from the stresses of life, and to sit around a campfire and do nothing but talk is very good self-care. I will say that if you guys don't do that, that's one to maybe try.
Yeah. And to realize that you're going to come back on Monday so productive.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not wasting time. That's part of what makes life worth living too, right?
Yeah. So I completely agree.
Yeah, well, and so I don't know, that's kind of the purpose of the call, was just to kind of see how you're doing with the self-care. And we're going to be talking a bit more about emotional eating this week coming up. So do you mind just sharing, I know we did this in the Diet Dropout, but sharing maybe the one or two kind of feelings or emotions or things that you find are kind of causing you to eat when you're not physically hungry? Do you want to start, Maggie?
Yes, I can. I actually, listening to Emily, I think made me think of it this week is like I have those moments where I feel like I take a few steps forward and then a step back or something. And this last week I actually had to do my first photo shoot for my business. And for those of you who don't know, I'm also in the fitness industry and stuff, but it triggered a lot of self-doubt. Like I spent the whole week dreading the photo shoot. I, for one, I've never been a fan of getting my photo taken anyway, but then to have to do it to promote myself just made me feel hokey, I guess, and then also make me like seriously doubt my body and what I was doing and whether I should do it. So there was a lot of times during this last week where I really wanted to just turn to the refrigerator and forget about it. And I did have a couple of incidences where I wasn't as mindful as I should have been when I was eating, but I did find I did a lot better than I usually do. But I would say stressful situations are huge for me. Anything that I find stressful, or any time that like self-sabotaging emotionally, I guess, when it comes to things like if I know I have a long weekend coming up where I'm going to be totally exhausted and spent, I'll be dreading it the whole week and thinking about it, and that's when I'll find myself turning to the refrigerator for emotional support to help me get through it. So
you mean like when you're overwhelmed about all you have to do on the weekend?
Yeah, overwhelmed or dreading something or unsure of myself in any sort of capacity, like if it's going to be a long weekend, well, what if I don't have the ability to do this, or what if I can't do this, or what if I fail here, or I'm in the military, so when drill comes up, when I have when I have a weekend where I have to do certain tasks for the military and I'm not either very good at it, or even though I am very good at it, it's something that I still doubt myself with, or I'm afraid that I won't do particularly well, then I find myself turning for emotional comfort from the refrigerator.
Okay, well, those are big ones. So we'll jump into that on Monday or on Tuesday.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited for this week.
Okay, awesome. And then Kendra?
Fatigue for sure, trying to use food to fuel me through the day when I don't have a lot of energy. Stress as well, although, like I say, I think I'm learning that fatigue makes the stress worse.
Yeah.
Might be pretty manageable. And then I know for me too, sometimes it's just boredom. If I'm not entirely sure what to do with myself, I feel like I need to fill that time doing something, or loneliness, or some of the sad emotions. But I think particularly if there's ones I just don't want to, or situations I don't want to think about because they'll make me sad, I'll just fill it up with something else.
Okay. Great. So almost like just like a distraction.
Yeah, an avoidance tactic.
Okay. Those are big ones too. We're going to have a busy week. Thank you. And then Emily?
For me, boredom is a big one. Sadness is a big one. Like feeling anxiety or anxious about something that's upcoming. And also another big one for me is when I'm celebrating with people, right? That's easy to overeat as well. Is when we're celebrating and feeling really happy as well.
Perfect. Okay, well, I think that's going to be great. So we will maybe break it down kind of, I know not everybody has the same emotions, but I'm sure some of them will overlap, and maybe something you didn't think you did, you might notice that you actually do sometimes. So, I mean, my big aha moment with emotional eating was sadness, but now I realize that, frustration's a big one for me, anger is a big one for me. So, yeah, I think it'll be a really cool week. So thanks for coming on the call. If you need anything, just message me, and make sure to book in the self-care like it's an appointment. That's what I recommend doing, because it's really going to help you, turn to food less, enjoy your life more. You're going to have more to offer your family and your friends and your work. When you are filled up, you have such more capacity to fill other people up. So, sound good?
Sounds good.
Woo!
Okay, well, have a fabulous long weekend. I don't know if it's a long weekend for you, Maggie.
No, it's a short weekend, so
We have Monday off.
with all the driving.
Awesome. Okay, well, thanks for jumping on the call, and we will see you on Monday or Tuesday.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Have a
Okay,
good weekend.
bye.
Bye.